It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so really interesting stuff regarding the whole Vergil Ortiz fight with Fredrick Lawson. You know, it was I felt while watching the fight that the stoppage that Tony Weeks made was very premature. You know, Tony Weeks has a history of bad stoppages. I mean, just last year he had the whole Ismail Barroso and Rolly fiasco. If you want to go back some years, you know, you had the whole Andre Ward Kovalev nut shot stoppage in the rematch. I mean, it was just Tony Weeks. I know being a referee is a thankless job. I have the utmost respect for referees, but he's just been getting it wrong a lot recently. So I gotta call it out right now. Tony Weeks did respond to the criticism that was directed his way following the premature stoppage for Vergil Ortiz against Fredrick Lawson, and he dropped this interesting piece of information. Now, here's what he said verbatim, word for word. He stated the following, and I quote: "What the public didn't know was that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on Lawson, and it came up that he had an aneurysm. They did a test again, and the same aneurysm came up. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm, so they cleared him to fight." So, wild stuff. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like Lawson shouldn't even have been cleared to fight. And it really sounds like, you know, when I really sit back and I connect the dots and I think of things, it sounds like Golden Boy Promotions just wanted to go to the furthest extreme to make sure that Vergil Ortiz got a win and kept the knockout streak going. That's just my opinion, right? Now, what we're hearing here from Tony Weeks, if it's true, which I don't think he would lie about this because this sounds way too specific for him to lie about. That's malpractice. That's ridiculous. That's improper use of medical examinations. Because look, if a guy tests positive for a brain scan, not just once, but twice with the same doctor, you don't bring in a second doctor to bring the test in and then, okay, he passed the test and then now you say, okay, he's good. No, absolutely not. And look, Lawson, I mean, if you just go back and you watch the fight, because I have watched a couple replays, Lawson, when he was hit with one of Vergil Ortiz's power jabs, he looked like he was ready to go right away, right? So in hindsight, maybe it wasn't a premature stoppage, but either way, whether you think it was premature or wasn't premature, I think the greater issue in this, now that Tony Weeks has dropped this information on us, is why on God's green earth was Fredrick Lawson allowed to fight. If you have a doctor and you do two tests and both tests say, hey, this guy has a brain aneurysm, he shouldn't be fighting. And by him fighting, what it shows is that the fine folks or the not so, I should say the not so fine folks at Golden Boy Promotions, they didn't give half of a singular crap about Fredrick Lawson and his health. They just wanted to make sure Vergil got his win and kept the knockout streak going, which, you know, look, boxing's a cold-blooded game. I know that boxing is not a sport for choir boys as far as the industry. I know it's not a sport where it's squeaky clean. I know this is a lot like the music industry in some ways. It can be very cutthroat, the boxing game. I get it. Trust me, I do. But even by boxing standards, this is bad. Because at the very least, right, at the very least, you want to make sure fighters are at least medically fit enough to fight. You know, robbing a fighter is one thing, and, you know, I don't agree with it, but even stealing a fighter's purse is another. But to send them into the ring when they're not even medically functional to fight, that's foolishness. So we didn't know the information when the fight happened. So in hindsight, it looks like Tony Weeks did the right thing, because in watching the replays, Lawson, you know, he wasn't on the canvas or anything like that, but Lawson was clearly bothered by the jabs in a great and mighty way from Vergil Ortiz, right? So Weeks did do the right thing. But my thing is this, right? And this is what I don't like, because if you tell a referee that a guy has a brain aneurysm and he knew this whole situation, if he knew that this guy failed, or that this guy had tested positive for a brain aneurysm, not once but twice, if he has that prior knowledge going into the fight, then that's clearly going to influence how he, you know, operates on waiting off a stoppage. So I don't like to say that things are fixed, but it just definitely feels like that Golden Boy Promotions did all they could to manipulate the outcome, and they sent poor Fredrick Lawson out there. And look, he's just a fighter. I'm sure he's just trying to make something of himself and try to get one last good payday in his career. It's been a long, tough, arduous career for him. I remember Fredrick Lawson from back in the day when he was on one of the first PBC cards against Kevin Bizier. He lost that fight. So it's like Lawson is just trying to make some money, I'm sure, to make his family life better. So I can't fault him. He's a fighter. Fighters are going to fight. They don't care if they got a brain aneurysm. They're going to fight. That's what they do. Most of these guys have been fighting since they were knee-high, and they've been born and bred to do this their whole lives. So it's not like I could sit here and point a finger at Vergil Lawson. It's the administrators. It's the even his team. Like, did his team have any? Like, my question is now, did Lawson's team have any knowledge of the brain aneurysm? Because if they had knowledge of it and they sent him out there against Vergil Ortiz, and that right there is just, that's even worse, because your team's supposed to look out for you. Your team's supposed to stop you from yourself, and it's just, you hate to hear, you hate to hear things like this, because over the years, just covering boxing, the last couple of years, we've had guys die in the ring, get deleted off the face of the earth. Guys like Patrick Day and Maxime Dadashev, fallen warriors, guys that walked into the ring with their health and couldn't walk out. They lost their life in the ring. It's very serious business in that square circle, and just real disgusting stuff. So yeah, make of that what you will. Tony Weeks reveals that Fredrick Lawson tested positive for a brain aneurysm, not once with with one doctor, and Golden Boy said, no, let's bring in another doctor. They got another doctor, and then he passed that test, so then they cleared him to fight, which I think is wrong, and that's, as they would say, the correct term, the legal term is malpractice in the medical field. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely sound off, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from doing it. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan, and for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.